Evening all and welcome to round 6 of RaceOnOz season 11 in the Renault RSO1. It's Sunday League time and I am your host Liam, otherwise known as Viper Z. I'm again joined in the Super B team by
Super
Hatfield.
B team. Yeah, that
Right
was
on
me.
cue.
Hey.
How you going?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm keen, very keen. And for the first time ever, and we seem to be saying this a lot this season, we've got Captain Risky, otherwise known as Aiden, joining us in the box.
Hello.
Yes,
Wasn't the first time ever.
hello. Well, he hasn't been in
Hello.
the box with us.
No,
Haven't
not
you?
this season.
No.
No, I was in the box with Demo 1 last season.
Yes, so
Oh, there
you've
we
got a
go.
lot of expertise to bring to the table, and of course our round 1 race winner.
Hello. Yes, that
How
was
did
me.
you pull that off? Jeez.
Yeah, fluke, I think.
Yeah,
But
cheats, hacks. Nice.
yeah, I did have a Game Shark plugged into my PS4 at the time.
Yeah, right. Did you pull a Daniel Apt and you just let someone else drive for you?
No comment.
That's the story for another night, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
No comment.
It's back to basics this week. We're stepping away from the sprint round and back into Red Bull Ring for 31 laps, which is our standard 45-minute format. It's racing mediums as usual, and it's bit of an interesting championship standings. Hatfield, what have you got to say about how we're looking championship-wise?
Well, I think that really at this point there's not too many to challenge Keaton if he just keeps it clean. I think that he needs, well, I think it's only fourth that he needs tonight because unfortunately for Captain Risky in the room, he was not able to attend the race.
Yeah, Cole asked me to come in and pack some ham, so
So the man who owns Coles, Cole.
yes.
Cole.
Yeah,
Cole.
Good old
that's
Cole.
that's unfortunate, but
Look,
it's a good reason, so fair
you're
enough.
still essential to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but a fair few big names missing. I mean, we were without Noble, without Mintmat, John O'Stand, who's actually pulled the plug on the season, and he's received a 3-minute penalty as a result. So he's copped it for sure. But yeah, it's been an interesting final few rounds as we're just seeing drivers drop out left, right, and centre.
Well, luckily for us, we were able to merge with Division 2 to get a full grid. So tonight's race should be very interesting.
Indeed, you've got a lot of big names such as Mustafa, Mighty Murph, and Big Kev joining the field. Of course, Big Kev who won the 3 hours of Monza only the night before, so a huge congrats to him. It was a great drive, and it's a lot of expertise in the field. So we'll go into the hills of Austria and we'll get keen for round 6 of RaceOnOz Sunday League. As we line up here for Red Bull Ring, of course, a rolling start, and it's Keaton 231 who once again takes the pole position. No surprises there. Razor in behind from Metal Gear, Viper Z. Mustafa, who got pole position of our Div 2 runners. Remember, it's a split field here. Mighty Murph second, Norm the next of our Div 1 runners, and a fair few blokes. But we're getting ready to take the green flag here as Keaton coming to the line. McLaren livery car.
Really good of Mustafa to get up that high. Split field, of course, they will not be taking points away from one another, and they're off. Heading into turn 1, of course, with a rolling start. Not much you can do about that, but turn 1 is tricky as we see. Oh, Metal Gear into the fence.
Oh my god.
Big moment from him early on. And Mustafa's going to have a look at him. Oh, Div 2 getting amongst it.
Div 2 up in 4th. You'd have to say you won't be able to hold him off for that long, though.
As you say, he's looking down the inside already.
I think smart from Mustafa anyway not to fight too hard for that. As I said, they're not taking points away from one another, so just get in that slipstream and save some fuel.
They've got to be careful. It's Mighty Murph and Norm scrapping in behind here, and I think Murph might just be sidestepping Norm, just saying, hey, look, I'm not in your championship fight. Tow me around and let's see what we can do in this race.
Different livery there from Norm this round. What do you think about that one, Risky?
Look, very hot livery. I'm pretty sure that the livery designer is actually commentating on this race, from what I've heard.
Oh, right. Well done, Viper, then.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was me. I think it's a fair few liveries done by not only myself, but also Risky. It's sort of a passion of ours, I think you could say, and it's something we really enjoy doing. So
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
if you can't win Division 1 races, you've got to be passionate about something. Although Risky did
Absolutely.
get one earlier in the season.
Yeah.
I've got a sprint round, but
You've got a sprint round win. Yeah.
yeah, we'll count that.
Looking
for
here,
now.
we've got a 5-car Selby train behind Brian.
It's incredible. We've got Motors, Nemo, Hatfield, and Chopper Dog all lining up in the Selby cars. Wow.
This would be a very interesting race for these Div 2 boys to maybe prove that they deserve a spot in the Div 1 field for next season. Good chance to test their pace.
Yeah, absolutely right there. It's also a good chance for some of the lower Div 1 runners to prove that they don't belong here. I think you can probably count myself in that.
Yes, sitting in the lowly 13th there, surrounded by his teammates, but...
Bit of a quiet run
just
from
like
you
that
so far.
feeling of camaraderie, you know. Interesting to see that Keaton hasn't really pulled a gap yet, either.
No, I mean, he's got Razor right on the back of him. I mean, fuel saving is a huge part of this race tonight. It is not possible to make the whole race on fuel, so I think most guys were looking at a basic two-stop, and any sort of fuel saving you could make was going to be hugely beneficial to your race.
Looks like having no thumbs might be beneficial as well, as Keaton getting squirrely again. That car looking like a bit of a handful.
Oh, you know how they build those McLarens. They're just not really on rails these days. Viper's Ed still holding on to third here. It's, again, quite weird commentating on yourself, but just managed to get Metal Gear a little bit. Don't think he's really in the rhythm at the start of this race. He's just, after that mistake at turn 1, just struggling to find it again.
Just have to see if he closes that gap.
Oh, we know he's got it in him, so...
Josh and Murph and Kev having a three-way tussle here for 7th place.
Oh,
Big
Josh,
train
a little bit
behind
wide.
Murph as well.
It's funny to think, actually, the last time Banana Josh was here...
in the wall.
As he touches the wall...
Interesting move.
Really defensive from Murph there. He did not want to lose that spot. Oh, Banana Josh again, right out sideways.
Pitch.
Good save.
And look at that pack, that is incredible.
Kev getting a run on Brian.
Yeah, nearly 3 wide. Motor's having a sniff too, and Kev just blocks him. Banana Josh wants some of it.
Very hard up the inside.
As he gets it
Nice
done.
play.
Oh, a bit of
Oh.
contact with Murph.
I think Murph might have tagged the back trying to get the over-under. Motors couldn't
On
quite
for
make
young
it.
and old here.
Kev got through, but Motors still stuck in behind there. Brian trying to make that car very wide.
That's Banana Josh leading the train now. Like I was saying before, it was actually the last time we had this sort of split, it was Banana Josh who came into Div 1 in the Volkswagen Beetle season in the wet, if you guys remember.
Yes,
And
he was leading at the end of lap 1.
End of lap 1 he was. It was a
Good.
hugely incredible race.
Keaton put it, I think, ran wide at turn 2, all slippery.
There's a lot of the top guys just found trouble really early on. I mean, I ended up backwards thanks to a bit of a lag punt from Groover. And Jono was just nowhere, so...
Actually, I think Jono was actually backwards,
Yes,
heading into
there
the
you go.
final straight on the final lap.
We won't say that, but...
Yeah, enough about the past. Oh,
Yeah.
Brian back down the inside of Kev at the final turn. Gets
Good
it
move
done.
there from Brian, very offensive.
Exited turn 1. Razor's got a 1 second gap back to Viper's Head there. Back another second back to Metal Gear from Viper. That's good to see.
I think-
And go back one more from that. It looks like there's a bit more of a gap there.
Oh, yep, 2 seconds back to Norm from Metal Gear there.
Right,
Looks
so
like-
top 4 sort of separated from the rest a little bit.
Sort of looks too that Norm's just really struggling to hold on here. I mean, he is absolutely pushing this thing. Look at his fuel. He's not holding back, and he just can't really get to the top 4.
I wonder if that'll affect his strategy with the 2-stop. If he can still make it, he'll be sitting there for a long time to refuel.
Yeah, it's going to murder him. I mean, he's been very critical of the regulations and the way the car feels thanks to it, but this is just not going to help him at all, and you got to say, it's a bit down to his own driving here.
Yeah, well, the runner of this series is no Jacinta Arden, that's for sure.
No, it is in fact Brian. It's someone who's maybe been a little bit harsh on tyre wear in the past in the way that he jacks up his rates, but one thing's for certain, it's making for an interesting race at Red Bull Ring. We can't fault that.
They can't
for an
fault that at
interesting
all.
season.
Kev is all over him still. I'll be disappointed that he gave that spot back.
Oh, and one thing to point out too, I mean, Brian is one of our regular Div 1 runners, and he's sort of under pressure by a lot of these Div 2 guys. I mean, he's sitting, I think that's 3rd in Div 2 at this point. He's not even ahead of them, so...
To be fair, I think a lot of these guys are probably bottom end of Div 1 as well. Just with all the sign-ups we had earlier in the season, we had to move quite a few guys down.
Yeah, it's more of a 1B, I think I heard said.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that sounds
very
more
squirrely.
right to me than Div 2, so...
Absolutely.
When the field's so condensed like this as well, even if you're only a little bit quicker, it's sort of that slipstream brings all the guys behind right into it. How's that gap now from Razor back to Viper? Is that extended?
Yeah, extended another half second. Razor
It looks
keeping
like
the gap.
Metal Gear's all over him.
Yes, very much so. Razor's keeping a pretty stable half second gap back to Keaton.
You wouldn't think he would go for the overtake. He's probably trying to save fuel,
No,
get into
that'd be
pit
a smart
stops.
option.
Won't be
Yeah.
particular wide as Kevin Motors getting a little bit into it here for 10th and 11th. Motors round the outside of his teammate there. You've got to think it's a little bit of camaraderie there. Has Kev just let him go?
Yeah, I'd say that'd be a bit of team play. So let me have a go at him.
Smart move there. I mean, Brian probably sweating bullets at this point. I mean, Motors, ex-Div 1 driver and someone who was no slouch.
I think he missed 1 or 2 seasons there just before, so back with a vengeance to try and get that spot in Div 1 again.
Absolutely, and I think what a good idea here is maybe to run through a few of our non-regular Div 1 guys, just show you who our best of Div 2 are at this point, and we'll start with GT Banana Josh, someone who's been a huge figure in the RaceOnOz community as of late, and really quick driver, as he's proving right now, leading Div 2.
Well, I think Mustafa's leading Div 2.
I meant for the race. Oh, and that's Mustafa, actually.
Yeah.
Introduce Mustafa for us there, Hatfield.
Mustafa, one of the long-time members at Ruse. Quite a long break of seasons, and he's sort of come back recently, and once again one of these guys that used to be in Div 1 staple in the day, but now reduced to Div 2, and he hasn't been up the front an awful lot. Seems to be good with the one-lap pace, but over long race distances sort of makes these little errors that can compound, and they sort of affect his race too much. So got to work on that consistency to try and get a full-time spot in Div 1 for next season.
For sure, and we'll jump back to third here after I so rudely assumed that Banana Josh was leading Div 2, and it's Mighty Murph 51, who he's a bit of a quiet fella, I think you could say. He's someone who shows up, gets the job done, and sort of goes home, I guess you could say. He's
Goes home, logs on, and complains on the forums a little bit.
correct.
Sorry,
He's very vocal, you could say that much. I did run in a separate league with him to Summer Vale. He was very, very quick. He's someone who's definitely hunting a Div 1 spot, and he's really close to the start of this season, actually. It was unlucky for him to not grab one.
We're glad that he's found a home with Ruse anyway.
Absolutely, it's great to have him. That gap from Razor's actually just maybe reduced a little bit. He seems to have lost Keaton there.
Yeah, Keaton extended the gap, and
Back out
Razor's
to
back to
1.5,
Viper.
1.7 now.
From first
Keaton
to second.
Razor. Yeah.
Just check his
Metal
last
Gear
lap.
right on the back of Liam there.
Yeah, last lap's a 28.5 there. Keaton's was a 27.9, so...
Oh, well, there you go.
Just fell off the pace, maybe made him...
Probably a little error, yeah.
Yeah. And that's brought Viper said straight back into it, though.
Oh, he's right on the back of him here.
How are those tyres looking?
Got to Keaton,
So,
he's
yeah,
saving his front
That
really
might
well
be
compared
another
to him.
reason why that pace might have dropped off. Those tyres could have hit a cliff.
And
There's
Vipers
no
are
thumbs.
better again. And Metal Gear's even better.
Even with that slide at turn 1.
Norm's looking after him quite well, despite the massive amount of fuel he's used. Mustafa maybe just a little more wear on every corner, but it's pretty consistent from him so far as he kicks it out sideways in the middle sector.
Jeez. Look at that back left tyre though.
Very hungry.
Brian just proving that he's the best conservative driver in the field, with easily the most full tank on lap 7. Easily.
Easily the best fuel use.
Oh,
you'd
wow.
say.
Yes.
Absolutely zero from Revo.
So
Very
apologies
impressive.
for Mike issues there. Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty early. Oh, and Holdeman follows him in.
first pit
And
stop.
Nemo.
Lap 7. That's quite early.
Maybe going for a 3-stop here, try to get the undercut.
Really early from
Utilise
these
those
guys.
Quite a
Looks like
short
Vipers
pit
that's going to
lane.
have a move here.
Down the inside, will he get him?
Oh,
Over and
Razor's on
under.
the switchback.
Side by side.
There is the car sideways at turn 1, it is Kev.
Oh, unfortunate for
wow.
Kev.
Sad to see.
He's leading the Selby battle too.
And that's just brought him.
Oh,
back to
Metal
guys
Gear
that
down the
just-
inside.
wide.
Oh!
Oh,
How did
Oh,
Viper get away
fuck.
with that?
So close. How did he hold on to that one?
And Razor's lost 2 positions in 1 corner. Now Metal Gear's looking to make it 2 for him.
Oh, he want to make up for that early mistake. Doesn't want to let Keegan get away.
Absolutely not. That was a really intoxicating battle there for a second.
Caden will be seeing this and just opening his eyes up, hitting those lap times, just trying to build that gap while these 3 fight here. Norm's trying to watch it, trying to get himself back into the battle. He's wheeling himself along.
I think you'll find Keaton maybe just saving a bit more fuel. I mean, just his fuel number compared to Viper's pretty impressive. A bit more than Metal Gear and Razor again, so...
Shame about you mentioning Kev before, turn 1. Because he was doing okay. Oh, Motor's really wide at the final turn.
Yeah.
Murph's in.
Just lost that.
I think Brian might have been involved then with Motors.
Think maybe a bit of a touch-up from those two?
Oh, it wouldn't have been too much, but
As Motors
they
runs
really
well
slowed
wide
each other up.
one. He's just maybe dirty tyres from the last off, but I'm not sure if he's hit his marks. Maybe a bit frazzled from from Brian.
Yeah, good chance.
That's allowed Hatfield to close up to the back of them.
Div on Hatfield.
Remembering here, this is a pass for position if Hatfield can get by Brian.
Yeah, well, hopefully some team play can come in here. Motors holding Brian up a little bit. Who knows?
Anything can happen.
And Uncle Pubs is well on the back of the train too. It's just inviting battles.
He's back in 11th. That ignition
4 of
livery
them.
car.
Another one designed by our head commentator here.
I don't like to be called the head commentator.
I
as
don't
such.
care.
Commentator? Viper dives into the pits.
Diving into the pits. First of our front runners.
Oh!
Oh!
That's not where you...
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's the only place you
that
want
was
to be in, isn't it?
flamboyant, I think you could say.
Showing off for the cameras.
When am I not? If you guys following him in, I think lap 9's probably where you're really starting to get a lot of pit stops here.
Why would you say that in a 2-stop race? Why wouldn't you just be going lap 10, lap 11?
Well, you'd think that might
Is
be
it
the
the undercut?
standard, but it seems to be a bit of an undercut as
A few guys are in.
going to be Viper rejoining just behind Hatfield and Brian here.
Yeah, well, Motors jumped in as well, so...
Oh, Metal Gear
Me-
at the moment.
Recovering from something. Oh, he kicking himself, giving the spot back to Razor there.
That is so much ground to Keaton lost there. Look at the gap he's pulled here.
See if Norm can grab that slipstream back on Holland as well.
I think he'd like to, that's for sure.
That gap from first to second now 4.5 seconds, so it's just
Ooh.
building and building.
Hard to see Keaton losing Ramir.
Oh,
Stopper of Murph. Holden,
I think it's a
turn
bit
2,
early to
they're
put
all over each other.
bit early to put the good word on Keaton. He's still got a pit stop to go, so two
You
pit
can put
stops.
the
Sorry.
good word on Keaton from the time the lights go green, I think.
Oh, very true. As Metal Gear
Oh,
sideways in
big
the
slide.
background.
He needs to win.
I think we'll see the rest of them peeling this laps. Keaton kept going. Razor and Metal Gear dive
Razor
in.
Metal Gear all in.
Bit more of a sensible pit entry.
Very well.
That's a
Razor's
really
got
solid
more
save.
fuel than Holland does though, so he might just be still able to come out ahead and not get jumped.
Absolutely. Great save there from Razor.
Hatfield's
Thank
in
you.
behind them.
I think he built that up when he was behind Keaton for the first couple laps there. Saved him a bit.
You've got to assume so. I think the big one here is where are they going to come out compared to Viper? And he's jumped them
He's going
both.
through turn 1 now.
Them both.
Jumped them both like he jumped that sausage curb.
Oh,
Using that
nothing
slipstream
in
from
it.
Brian, I'd say, to advantage.
Yeah, just within
Thank you.
Brian's range, I think.
Brian's just gone under half a tank, really. That's mental.
That's
Might be
insane conservation from Brian there. Maybe trying the one stop.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah. A bit bold, but we'll see.
It's a typical Brian move.
It is. Rarely
very
works,
true.
but sometimes he just pulls out a stroke of genius, and as he did at Catalonia, actually. That was a very, very good strategy.
Mustafa
from
down
him
in
there.
13th after his pit stop.
That's unfortunate for Mustafa. I think he like you said, he was leading the Div 2 field. What's happened there?
Has Pub stopped?
Or check pubs now.
Yes, Pubs has.
He has, yep.
Yeah, much less fuel though. Mustafa looks like he's filled the car.
I think Mustafa. Oh, he's a bit squirrely there. I think he's making a couple of mistakes.
Importantly here, Keaton going with the really long opening stint. This is a bit of an odd strategy from him as Norm dives into the
Norm's
pits.
in.
No,
Almost used all of the fuel in the car.
I don't think he could have made another lap. I think.
Banana Josh in as well.
Would have
Yes,
been
Banana's
really
just
tight.
fairly-
And Brian
Look
as
at
well, so
Brian's
definitely not
save.
going for
Wow.
that. But look at that
Great
petrol,
save from
33
Brian.
litres compared to
Brian's
9
come
on
in
Norm's
about
car.
10 seconds behind Norm, and he's going to jump him, I dare say.
They're really tight between them. And Viper, has this maybe just gotten him out of slipstream range for Razor?
Yeah, Brian's right on Norm's tail now. Oh, that's Banana Josh, never mind.
Similar.
Norm's come out in a bit of traffic. That's not ideal for his race.
Oh, he probably needs it with the fuel save.
It's true.
Although motors, you can have a look. Not quite.
It's all getting a bit feisty in these. Mustafa just defending from Pubs and Hatfield here. You guys not making it easy for him.
Oh, you got to try everything, don't you?
Oh, especially with someone who used to be such a good driver.
I've heard an old wives' tale that Mustafa actually challenged Matt Simmons and pushed him harder than Matt would have liked in the 2015 GT Academy.
I think that's
trials.
not too much of a stretch of the imagination, but we'll speak about that later as our race leader Keaton is in.
Yeah, that's true.
19 litres, that's a fantastic save from Keaton. I mean, it's not spec, but it's pretty good.
Latest pit stop out of the bunch. Doesn't look like anybody's one stopping him.
Will Viper Z jump him?
5%'s coming up to turn 1 now. It's going to be really close.
Looks like he'll just get it.
Oh, and he will. 5% goes to the lead here with the undercut.
Razor and Metal Gear both run a bit wide out of turn 1.
Did Razor get the slipstream off Keaton though?
Yes, he is in the toe.
Yeah, that's where he wants to be.
That's a good spot, that's for sure.
Just sit there and wait for Viper to spin off inevitably and...
Inevitable.
I think it will happen, yeah. Tends to a fair bit.
Holland falling off the back there though, a little bit from Razor.
He's just struggling for pace a little bit, just Holland. He's we know he's got it in him, and maybe he's just waiting to strike a little bit. He's clearly got the paces. He threw it down the inside of Razor and nearly Viper at the corner he's just gone through, but he's just sort of fallen off a bit here.
That's a 1.7 second gap at the moment, so he's out of tow from Razor there.
It's not ideal. He's not got much more fuel either. That's not really enough to make a difference. Huge fuel save from Keaton. I mean, look at that. He's nearly got 3/4 of a tank compared to Viper's half.
Is that fuel save or is that just putting too much in?
I think he just filled up. He'll be going pretty long into the next season.
We've lost Kev.
Oh.
I think we've got technical difficulties from Kev there.
That was definitely Kev going. I sort of saw him at the top of the track into turn 4. He's just gone off wide, but I think that's a bit of unfortunate lag from him.
As Mustafa and Hatfield go at it into the last complex. Around the outside from Hat, it works. Wow.
Just caught the tail end of that. Great move from Hatfield.
Move.
Oh, nearly undoes his good work.
It's squirrely.
No, I think he might have undone his good work there.
Must down the inside.
Bloody tip 2 drivers.
I reckon.
Typical barely A+ drivers. Oh, really tight there into 1.
Good clean racing. Good to see.
Bit of redemption.
A lot of respect though.
There's Uncle Pubs. He's just been invited into this battle.
He has.
He might, if he's brave,
Throw it
he'll
up
send
the
a
inside
double
of turn
overtake.
2.
He's going to. Oh, just the 1.
Oh, I think Mustafa might get the drive there though.
Gives him room. It's going to be really tight heading into 4.
Oh, Hatfield's
trying to
the
make a break for it.
See if Musk can get back onto him here. Oh, had a car go around there.
The yellow flags.
That's Nemo.
Oh, Nemo.
Nemo's gone around.
It's a shame.
Nemo has been made to do the spin. Really unfortunate for him there. He's running really well there. Up in the top 5 for Div 2.
I've got to stick on the back of Mustafa's slipstream now and try to make something of it. Bit hard in 15th though.
Yeah, not a lot of gain that can be made. He'll just have to hit his marks, maybe save a bit of fuel. I mean, he's not got a lot left.
It does look like Nemo hasn't pitted yet. Lap 14, he hasn't made
those tyres.
No, he'd made a lap 7 pit stop. So.
Very early.
He's one of those early boys. Yeah.
Yep.
Doing the extra one.
Maybe just a 4 stop for Nemo. Bit of a tyres not treating you well at the moment.
Good save.
Fantastic save there.
Bit of driving in anger maybe.
I think you'll need to cool it down a little bit. It's not really the time when you're in 15th out of 15 just to get a bit angry at yourself. I think he's got to cool it down and maybe just hook onto the back of Mustafa, like you said, and send some laps.
Yep. No point looking back in anger, especially when you're last.
Exactly, you just got to be a bit of an oasis here.
Hook onto the back of Muzz, oh my god!
Oh, Razor's in the fence! That's
Razor's
Razor! Oh, we've had a collision back as well. Oh, it's Nemo and Mus! Oh,
Nemo
no!
did indeed hook straight onto the back of Mustafa there.
He did hook
you're a
onto
prophet.
him.
Well.
Oh, and Mustafa's clearly hit the rage quit there.
Yes, clearly.
Wow.
A bit disappointing to see,
Unable to
especially
continue.
the fact it took so long for him to hit exit.
Oh,
Really
that's
ruined Nemo's race.
killed Nemo's race too. I mean, it's hard to comment on what's happened without seeing it directly, but
I think you have to say Mustafa's a bit of a hazard there.
yeah, look,
Mustafa is a hazard, and we were just praising him before, but now he definitely just doesn't deserve that Div 1 drive.
I think the stewards may have a look at that. And a 25-second penalty to Jono may be handed down.
It may be. Look, I'd honestly think that's the correct course of action to take.
Tend to agree.
All over the back of Viper. Out of turn 1.
Vipers, he's not holding this lead too well.
Chopper Dog out of fuel into the pit lane.
Very tight for him. Keaton's just having a sniff.
Is Keaton the man to follow the slipstream and save fuel, or will he want to be leading?
I think he's saved enough fuel. I think he's the man who's going to be leading at this stage, and he's going to want to get by Viper, especially if Metal Gear's gaining on them. I mean, without Razor in the fight, he's hung on to 4th as Razor, but it's not really a title challenging or a race challenging position at
What
this
is
point.
that gap from 3rd to 4th?
Keaton!
Oh my god!
Keaton's put it in the gravel!
Keaton McNaldo's is in the sand. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh,
I was
no!
going to say, lucky there's runoff there, but he's
This
just driving
will
through the
have
sand.
major championship implications.
Oh,
only
that is
Risky was
huge
here
from
to
Keaton.
to capitalise.
If only I was here.
Look at the spots he's lost, down to 7th place.
7th.
Oh my god.
Behind Mighty Murph as well. That is terrible from Keaton. That's a huge mistake.
Keaton 237.
You just can't do that at this level.
It's just stupid.
It's a very rare mistake from Keaton.
I mean, we were
Normally
only saying before the race that he needed a top 4 to absolutely secure this title, and he's not wanting it.
Oh, as we say that, the two guys in front of him peeled into the pit lane.
Yeah, but they're Div 2, they don't count in that battle.
That is true. That is true.
So on paper, we'll still look at this.
Looking at Div 1,
obstacles, though.
we've got Viper Z leading from Holland, Razor, Norm in 4th, and then Keaton. So Keaton needs to catch past Norm before the end of this race.
It's a 2-second gap from 1st to 2nd, then 8 seconds back from Metal Gear to Razor there. So, not sure what Razor's doing, but it isn't going fast enough.
Well,
No,
after
I
that
think
spin, there's not much he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just sort of ruining that mistake like Keaton will be at this point.
Yeah, you don't need to be making a mistake, especially when Keaton makes one. You want to sort of capitalise on that whenever you can, because it does not happen often.
And I think we'll have a bit of an in-race interview here. Risky, at this point, what are you thinking? Do you wish you were in this race? Do you wish you were challenging for the win?
Look, at this point, I do wish I was in this race. I love this track. I do quite enjoy races here. They always produce good racing. I'd like my odds, as this season's proved. I've not been too bad.
I think it's a good car for you. It really suits your style. Any comment on that?
Yeah, I'd agree with that, 100%. It's honestly my favourite season car we've had.
Ever?
Ever. Second
Yeah, right.
would be the Mustang when the last time I came second to Keane.
Big words there.
Yeah, big words.
If you could right now, knowing what you know, what would you say to Cole if he were to call you up to go in?
I would tell Cole to pack the ham himself.
Oh, big words from Risky there.
Big
I
words.
think true ones though.
The true ones.
And I think the battle we've all got to keep an eye on now is Metal Gear going to catch Viper? Because it's clearly just a 2-horse race from here.
Well, I mean, he's got the pace to do so, but it just depends. He's on that knife's edge, and which way is he going to fall?
Yeah. It just looks like he's got the advantage on Viper. He's got a little bit more fuel and maybe that little bit better tyre wear. He's really got the tools to push him here.
Remember, we are only halfway through the race, and Keaton didn't quit, so there's always that possibility.
Yeah, he could still fight it back.
Very true.
You've seen him in the reverse grid sprint races. He always manages to find his way to first. It's kind of natural.
Have we got a gap between Viper and Keaton at this stage? I mean, it just looks on paper like a huge gap to overhaul, but
Yeah, it's so.
A bit hard to calculate on the
Do
fly.
some quick math. It looks like it's about a 12-13 second gap.
Remember, there's 60 seconds in a minute when you calculate that.
It's not a minute.
nice. It's
You're saved by the math then.
so at roughly 12 seconds, I think you said.
Oh, quite wide there.
Only 13 laps to go. He needs a second a lap, and he's just set the fastest lap of the race as we say that. Yep.
He wants it.
And Vipers at a 28.4, so he is setting it at a second a lap. He wants this win back.
Wow,
Now,
0.2
it'd be
red.
interesting if Norm defends him here. Caden will be telling him to get out of the way.
Yeah, I think turn 2 send.
Metal Gear!
Oh, Metal Gear's out.
Metal Gear! He spun it!
Yellow flags, exit turn 2.
Oh!
As Caden gets Norm. That's
And
one
I'll
out of
tell
the
you
way.
what, if you haven't put a bet on Vipers Ed already, you better now.
Sportsbet have closed all bets on Viper's Ed for the finale of this race, unfortunately.
And I am not surprised.
He was at $13 coming into it, so...
He's gone from 13 to $1.04. What is that gap
Keaton
now?
is
That's
still
a
$1.03.
huge gap.
The gap back to second place at the moment after that spin. Just wait till the timing, they cross the timing sector here.
Right
Yeah,
there.
10
wait
and
for
a
the
half
timing line.
seconds. 10 and a half
Oh.
seconds.
I
Well,
don't think we've seen a gap that big between first and second all season. Let alone between
not
someone
Keaton, you
like
mean?
Viper. Oh no, even then, I don't think we've seen it from Keaton.
Well, there's still we've still got over 10 laps to go. If he's a second slower every lap, but that's 10 qualifying laps required from Metal Gear to just to make up that gap, let alone pass.
Remember, we've still got pit stops to factor in too, and at lap 20,
true.
we're going to see them from here on in.
Well, what's the fuel difference between first and second?
Identical.
Seemed like March.
A slight advantage to Metal Gear, and he's using all the track there at one. He wants to get back to him.
Metal Gear has the advantage in tyre life, however. It's
Ray's about the same with the fuel. What about Keaton?
Caden's
Oh, Keaton's got
Massive advantage from Keaton.
safe.
You've got to think he might gap
push.
Metal Gear here. Maybe in the pit stops he'll be able to jump them all.
We've got Ray
Caden's
there at
still
turn
at second
2.
lap. He's still
Oh.
gaining a second lap on Viper.
It's doable. It's definitely doable for them.
Caden with that strategy, I dare say he likes his chances still.
Strategy, I didn't know that spin was part of the strategy, but it's working out well.
Yeah, it's a strange
Yeah,
strategy play from him.
It's all for the show.
Very Keaton-esque.
As
all
you look at his
planned out on his
recent laps, he's got
vision
a 27, a 27, a 27, a 42, a 27, a 27, and a 28.
It's a lot less consistent from Viper. We're seeing a 28.9, a 28.4, 28.6. His last 27 was lap 16, so it's not fantastic
That
because he
is-
throws it in the pits.
Very initial DS into this pit lane. But
Oh,
it works.
one
One leader
leader
left.
to go. Cutting that extremely fine. Metal Gear follows him in.
You think Viper would put in extra fuel here? Wouldn't want to risk that at the final
think so.
point of this race. Okay. Metal Gear with 1 as well. Razor with 4 litres. Keaton back into the lead. Feeling
Norm's
comfortable.
just trying to hang on to that toe by the looks of it, but I just don't think he has the pace to keep up.
Got a car backwards here.
Oh
A few
god.
more into the pits.
Struggling to catch it. It was Brian.
Brian's had a spin at the final turn.
Lost 10 seconds at the final corner there.
Oh jeez, that's let Hatfield back into the game.
Starting from 14th, he's made a good gain, Hatfield. He's worked his way through, just picking away.
Yep,
Any
just keep
word on
picking
that,
that
Hatfield?
scab.
I think
Oh,
it's-
mate, I
it's
just
still a pit stop
haven't
to
got
go
the
for you.
pace to compete, but always give it a go.
that's it.
That's the spirit.
Never rage quit.
See, there you go. Best sector
Yeah, look at him go.
PB.
We'll have a check here at what's going on with the leaders. So it's Keaton yet to take his pit stop in first. A decent amount of fuel savings happened for him, so we'll have to keep an eye on where he comes out relative to Metal Gear and maybe Viper if Viper's put in a fair amount of fuel. I mean, that's a pretty big fuel stop for Viper. And that's maybe in the region of 80 litres.
More than
Looks
3/4
yeah.
of tank, so
I think that's probably more than he needs. I think he's definitely been careful here. He's got a huge gap back to Metal Gear though. He was stuck in traffic.
It's about an 11-12 second gap from Caden to Viper, and that's provisional lead there.
Caden pits.
Caden's in. It'll be a
Norm
short
follows
fall from
him.
him.
And
Banana
Josh
Josh
as
also
well.
in, out of 3rd place, which is a great drive from him.
Outright third's really impressive from these Div 2 guys. I mean, it's the lead in Div 2. Viper's just crossed the timing line, takes the lead officially here, but where is Keaton going to come out?
Too far back. That's
Rest of
where
the
he's
pack
gonna
coming
come
over
out.
now.
Wow. That is
Metal
massive.
Gear just getting the job done here. And Keaton's got him.
Wow. I think it'd take a monumental mistake for Viper to lose this one.
That's it's a decent gap, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't think Holland and Keaton will play nice to catch up.
That's a
No.
7-second gap.
Oh, Motors dives down on Mighty Murph there.
Razor just gets the job done on Holden, man.
Yeah, the fuel number's identical between Viper and Keaton here, so there's no advantage there. Keaton's just got the fresher rubber. Interesting to see how he works with it.
It's going to be a throwdown between those two then. Can Keaton catch Viper at, what is it, a second a lap now?
Still a second a lap, yep.
Second a lap.
Easily. At this pace, easily he'll catch him.
I think with the fresher rubber though, it's just where the Viper's got quali laps in him. I mean, he needs to be going quick at this point. He can't be just pumping out 28s like he was before. And
Well,
it's
27.2 is not a 28, so
It's
not
his
bad
outlap,
there.
so it doesn't count.
This is our lap
Aw.
indeed. See what he
The
does
rest of
here.
it
This
is
is an important lap just to sort of say what he's going to be doing for this stint.
The nerves.
Ooh, high
27.7.
That's good.
Only a
It's
tenth off his
quick
PB.
enough. It's quick enough.
See what's Keaton doing.
26 on his outlap.
It's a quick out lap. 4/10
That's
quicker than
very
Vipers.
quick.
Big trainer cars from, is that 4th onwards?
That is 4th.
It is Mighty Murph who's holding the lead for Div 2 at this point over
That's
Motors.
4th till 10th. That is a massive train.
We have a
for
car
this
spin off
last-
there. Oh, it's
Oh,
Norm! No!
Not Norman.
Oh, he was sitting P4 in Div 1. That's really unfortunate for Norman there.
Oh, rear damage and damage on that wheel there.
Oh no.
Oh, and he slipped all the way back now as well. No
This is
man's
all
land.
by himself.
After he had a heartbreak at Monza for the World Endurance Tour 3-hour race.
Brian and Pub side by side.
Leading most of that race and then just lost out at the end, which was terrible to see. Just looks like it's happened again.
It's sort of deja vu for him, but it was a fantastic 4-car battle for the 3 hours of Monza, and I think it is hard to say that Kev didn't deserve that one because he did. He drove fantastically all race, and he didn't put a foot wrong. So
Lucky he didn't disconnect then.
no, absolutely. I think at a time like that, you'd be absolutely heartbroken disconnecting.
Oh yeah, as Vibe said, crosses the control line. That's a
28
28.
flat.
Flat.
See what Keaton does here. This is his first official lap here after his stop. 27.6.
6.
Nowhere near quick enough, Caden. You're gonna
That's
have to up the pace.
only 4/10, and he's got Metal Gear all over him now. He's done a 27.2.
Mate. It's a
A few
second
more
a
pit
lap.
stops in the background there.
Yeah. It's a
Yep.
6-second gap, and he needs a second lap if he wants to. Oh.
Yeah, I
Even less.
don't think this is going to be the battle of first. I think it's going to be the battle of can Metal Gear get Keaton, because it doesn't look like Keaton has the pace.
It's not often you hear that.
No.
It's I feel like I need to wash my mouth out. That's wow.
Probably make that a habit more often, actually.
Yes.
Well,
His
the things
motor's
I
in
do.
4th place. This is really good to see. He really wants that Div 1 spot back after his little hiatus.
And look at the gap to Banana just behind. It's
Oh.
comfortable.
Well,
Yes,
Josh is trying to be
no,
used that
just goes-
slipstream behind Razor.
Yeah, I reckon a little bump draft might help down the front straight at least, in the front to turn 2.
Yeah, that's true. Let Razor catch up to Motors and have a go, open the door, and then just slip in behind.
I think this is where the Div 1-2 racing gets really awkward and sort of Le Mans-esque in the way that you've got your LMP1 cars in the Div 1 boys and your GT cars in the Div 2 boys. I mean, it's clear
Except
that
everybody's in an LMP1 in this.
that's
in this
right.
case.
Yeah, we're all in similar pace, but none of us are fighting each other. So it's a bit of an awkward situation here where you can see Razor is clearly directly in the way as that's Motors
Motors
peeling into the
jumping in.
pits.
There you go.
So I think my point's a little bit redacted now, but it was just Razor holding back Banana Josh there for a little bit. It's a bit of an awkward situation. You don't want to be Banana Josh. You don't want to be held back from the guy you're racing because one of these Div 1 guys is right in front of you.
Same goes for Razor there. Like, he doesn't want to be stuck behind a Div 2 guy or stuck in between a Div 2 battle, because all it takes is for Banana Josh to get a little bit impatient, try to go for that move, and it ruins 2 races there.
Absolutely
Even just a
right.
simple mistake. That's all it takes.
Exactly.
It's not like they've been racing against each other, you know, for the first 5 races this season.
Metal
and they've
Gear
come to
has
learn.
got Caden. They're fighting.
Oh,
Oh, here we go.
side by side, turn 3.
On the
Keaton
outside.
couldn't quite hold on there with the overlap.
Caden's favourite corner on the track at the moment.
And these two are absolutely top operators in their respective manufacturers. I mean, they're 2 of the top guys in the world for FIA at this point, and they are going at it for RaceOnOz right now.
It's what we come to see.
I think it's Metal Gear who's the top Lamborghini, I think, maybe in the world for him at this point, and Keaton, second best BMW in the world. I mean, should the FIA season have not been called off thanks to COVID, these 2 guys would be on their way to Nürburgring next week. So
That'd be a first for Keaton, wouldn't it?
it would be. He's definitely devoted
Finally
himself
putting his
a lot
hat
more.
in the ring.
It's
To
really
be fair,
comforting to see.
he's never really tried an FIA.
Well, that's what I mean.
before this.
He just put his hat in the ring, so...
Exactly. And all it took was 1 season and he's already in a World Tour spot, so it really just proves how good he is.
Real testament
World
to his
Tours
pace.
can't make a comeback soon enough, I think.
No, the gap's increasing from Viper to Metal Gear here.
Well, these 2 fighting isn't going
they
to be
are.
helping that.
Keaton
That's
has a
it.
look. Oh, there's contact.
Oh, they've touched.
Oh, his turn.
That's
back
awkward
there.
there.
That's very awkward. See,
Again, contact made, and I definitely think Jono could have stopped that. Yeah, stewards would really have a look there.
if Jono wasn't here, I'll tell you, wouldn't have happened.
Looks like maybe Metal Gear's just got a bit of breathing room from Keaton here. Of course, still in slipstream range, but he's comfortable, I guess you could say. We've just had a moment here from someone.
Is that Chopper?
Might have been Pubs.
Might
Motors
be.
all over him now.
Motors and Pubs going at it, and Hatfield just got the prime save here. got
banging
his bucket
wheels.
popcorn ready.
Yeah, this would definitely help Hatfield to catch him. If they keep fighting like this. Oh!
Oh, Pubs!
Looks
Oh
like
my
the
God.
tyre's
Oh.
pinched there.
Yeah, that looks like a bit of a hitbox collision problem. That did not look normal.
That was
Great
because they were
save
kind
for
of side
Pubs.
by side.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, it's
Brian's
Brian!
off.
Oh no.
Oh, unsafe
Oh.
rejoin. Oh,
Oh.
pulls out of it just in time there.
Oh, revote. And
Old man
hold
picks
me
up the
gets it.
spot.
No, he has
Good
had a
to-
shocker
honestly-
tonight as Brian.
Thrown away all
While,
that fuel
while
safe.
we're this far back in the pack, props to Nemo for sticking it out after.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, Banana
Oh,
Josh!
Banana
Off from the
Josh, into
lead!
the wall.
The lead of Div 2 has been blown wide open.
Mighty Murphy's getting a sniff now.
This
He
man,
had a
he
big
would have
gap,
seen
didn't he?
Banana Josh, and he will be hungry.
Shark.
He's hungry
with
for
water.
bananas.
He wants that banana. This just in, Mighty Murph loves banana.
I think we need a nickname in Donkey Kong now.
Nah, Monkey Murph 51.
Monkey Murph 51.
I like it. Is he just
He's
in
just-
slipstream range?
Can check that.
There's a bit going on in the background
He's just out of it.
here. Oh,
1.8 seconds at that last split.
he's going to be
Big
pushing
five
for it.
car-
That
There's
slide
5-car
would
train
have
here
helped
from Motors onwards.
from Motors onwards.
Motors, Pubs, Chopper, Hat.
Yes, that is a
And
5-car train.
Holden Man just a little bit off in the background there, but probably has slipstream.
Yes,
Hard
Yes,
to make a
indeed.
gain though in slipstream when the guy in front also has slipstream.
that's it.
I think it's important to recognise here as well that Nemo is still hanging on. He's despite the altercation I should say, with Mustafa early on, he's still punching along in this race in 14th, and it's quiet, but well done for him to sticking in there. He's I think he's been known for the occasional rage quit in the World Endurance Tour recently, but it's good to see him sort of punch it out and show that he's a bit more committed now.
Definitely.
Should be a sign of things to come, which is good to see.
Absolutely. Brian's just
As-
lost out all the ground he's made. 13th place for Brian, last in Div 1. It's been a horrible night for him.
Yeah, one to forget.
As Monkey Murphy's within tow now.
Just coming out of
He
turn
wants
3
it.
there.
3 laps left. He wants that banana. 4 laps, sorry.
He's licking his lips. He can see that Div 2 win.
He wants that potassium.
Who doesn't? Okay.
Okay. Moving on.
Motors has got pubs a little bit. He's got a hat for company.
Remember, Motors is hanging on to a Div 2 podium spot at this point. It's hard to see, seeing as he's in 8th position, but that's P3 for him, and Pub's just P4 with Chopper Dog, who's, oh, you got to say, slightly held back by Hatfield in P5.
Keane's got the move done into turn 1 on Holland here.
Down the inside, runs it a bit wide. Well done from Keaton.
Definitely not concentrating on catching Viper.
No, definitely the battle for second here.
Check on Viper's times.
Barring any incidents, Viper's got this one.
Is just sitting calmly in the 28 threes here. Is just hitting his marks. I think he senses he's got this in the bag.
What's that gap, first to second?
First to second, it's sitting at 7.6, so it hasn't gained, it hasn't dropped.
Even a second a lap, you're not going to catch him.
No.
No.
Keaton would need to be... Oh, as Metal Gear throws
Again.
Murph
Oh.
and
Down the
Banana are
inside.
heating up here. Monkey Murph wants that banana still.
it. Oh,
That
they're
is
closer
very
than they have
close
been.
He can almost unpeel it.
here. Yeah. He's just pulling it back.
You can feel the peel.
We'll have to get him a sticker made for the back of his car. Feel the peel.
Oh, you'll love that.
I'm sure.
Oh, I don't see why you would.
Keaton dropped off a little bit there from Holland.
He's maybe just struggling with the dirty air. It's not something that Keaton is used to.
We've missed that. Chopper got Hatfield there.
Battle between the Selby boys.
I'm not sure, battle or team play. Hard to say without seeing it though.
Absolutely.
I think Keaton's just playing the strategic game here. He wants that last minute charge.
Yeah.
Catch Holland at it off guard, really. Get him into turn 2 and stop.
Oh, Keaton!
On the grass.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's
my
gone for him.
God.
Another big mistake from Keaton.
Oh, he
Caden
just held it though.
I cannot believe this. I thought you were
Yeah.
better than that.
The one night you don't show up.
Yep.
And what was it that we said the other night when Keaton was the worst possible driver in the world? I think it's pretty true at this stage.
There's for the battle for Div 2 here. Mighty Murph right on Banana's bumper.
Oh, it's heating up. Banana just goes defensive.
Very defensive. That might hurt him on the exit.
Oh, Murph just
Over
going for the
and under.
switchback.
Over and under. Who's done it?
Well,
He's got the
has
inside.
he?
That's a good
No,
move.
not yet.
Oh, didn't have the
Josh
overlap.
defensive
Wow.
again. Very smart.
Just needs to corner the hold it around the outside though. Open on the exit. Can hold it into the second sector.
I think it requires a lot of respect though. You really need to go on the
Does.
inside just to give you the room.
Which you'd expect from a high caliber field like this.
Absolutely. I mean, these two are the top of Div 2 at this point. Oh,
Murph
Murph's
down
just
the
looking at the inside. Can he
This
get the
is
nose in
beautiful
front?
Racing.
Oh,
He's got
him.
great move from Murph.
it. Wow.
That's
Beautiful
textbook
scrap, boys.
stuff there.
Now one lap of holding on.
Banana will not be happy.
I'll tell you what, I think we can ride off the battle for Div 1, but Div 2 is heating up here. Banana's looking to fire back straight away. Down the inside.
Down the inside.
Oh, that's a sketchy.
No, he had him.
He's got him.
Bit of contact.
The
bit of
gloves are
contact.
off. The gloves are off. Oh.
Wow, that's... I'm not
Oh,
sure
it's hard
about
to
that
say.
personally.
You know what, Risky? Let them race. Let them race.
Let them race.
Let them race and let Jono cop the penalty later, because this is great for him. Oh, this is
I think
awesome.
he's up to...
Oh, he's
Murph with a big
sideways.
slide.
What's John up to now? 3 minutes worth of penalties from
No,
a race that he
that's
didn't
why he's
turn
quit
up
the
for?
It's a
season.
disqualification for Jono, but back to the battle here. Will Murph take a dive? Oh, Josh defensive again. Into turn 2.
It's worked for him last lap. I don't see why he wouldn't do it again.
Oh,
Much
he's
better
into
exit
him.
there.
Oh, is very much into him. I feel like that's a bit of a return to serve for the last corner, last lap.
Yeah, a little bit of contact between these two.
There's only half the lap remaining
Argy-bargy.
now.
This is indeed Safeway car park stuff.
I think Josh will just be lining him up, seeing where he can get the move done. We'll go to Viper quickly as he's coming around the final corner here. Great drive from Viper, not a single foot wrong for his first ever Div 1 win.
Amazing
Boring
drive.
race, personally.
Boring race, but God has he done it. Anyway, back
He
to the
has
Div
done
2
it.
battle here.
Oh,
Holland in second.
Caden's hit the pit. Oh, he almost hit the pit.
Oh, Heaton's spun at the final
Spun
turn.
at the final. And here's Josh. Can he get anything done? The final 2 corners.
It's his happy hunting ground, as last
Motors.
lap proved. And Marty
He might
Murph
just
holds
chuck it. No, can't get it done.
Wants to run.
Not
He
quite
wants
close
to run.
enough.
Oh, and he squiggles it out.
Oh,
No.
no,
nothing.
Oh, Hatfield's got Chopra.
Solid drive, Mighty Murph.
in the background
Solid
there.
drive.
Well done, Mighty
Murphy's
Murph.
got
That's
the
the
same
Div 2
third
win
for
for
Div
him.
Oh, Chopper's run out of fuel.
Oh, heartbreak for Chopper. He loses a bunch of positions on the
He
line.
made an extra stop as well.
I feel like that
no.
happens a lot. And Nemo, he's going to round it out. That's good to see.
It's great. Look at that pace on the final lap too, at 27.9.
Put your
not too
PB in
slow.
there.
I tell you what, he's found pace. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, and he's sort of abusing track limits, but he's coming
Yeah, world
around.
limits like that.
It's okay. We'll let it slide this one time.
Yeah, I think this one can go by, and there it was, round 6, and it's another non-Keaton victory.
Thrilling race.
I think that's 4 different winners this season.
I mean, we've
That's
That's
had
the
four
most we've
different
had for a
races
long
season.
time.
we of course
Keaton
had
won
Captain Risky in
twice.
the first race. Noble's picked one up as well. I mean, Keaton has won twice, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you'd expect Keaton to win.
Yeah,
essentially.
it's very Keaton-esque to just win. So we
Well-
sort of forget it when he does.
As he has just rounded out the championship, so congrats,
Yes, I was
Keaton.
going to say, look
He
at that
has.
big picture. He only needed 4th, and 3rd is
He
better
tried
than
his
4th,
best
so-
to lose it.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
great. Great
Congratulations
season
to
from
Keaton on the championship. Congratulations, Liam, on the race win.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Risky, on that ham stacking.
Look, I'll be honest, it was a good ham stack.
Well, you're a
Hmm.
professional ham stacker, and that's not even
I
any
am.
stretch of the imagination. You are a
No.
professional ham stacker.
I am.
I
Thanks
think
everyone for joining us.
Yep, thank
Next round's the final round. Final round of season 12 of season 11. Sorry, yeah, Interlagos. We head to Brazil. I'm not sure if Keaton's going to be making that one. He might
Look, I
be
hope
too
not.
busy celebrating.
I think he'll be getting on the beers. A few twoies for him.
It'd be interesting to see who the best of the rest would turn out to be.
I mean,
Oh, are you
Vipers-
stacking hams?
I'm
Oh,
not. No,
I mean-
I will be there. I can confirm I will be there.
I thought you meant the best of stacking hams, and that's clearly
Oh,
risky.
sorry. Yeah,
It's clearly me. Like, come on.
Yeah, he knows how to
So-
handle a good sausage.
Knows how to stack them, knows how to steam them.
And Monkey Murph loves a good banana.
He does.
Yeah,
and
well, he
it's,
did get his
it's-
banana in the end.
Absolutely.
did.
I mean, great job from Mighty
Nibble.
Murph. It was an absolute pleasure to have the Div 2 boys along, and they really treated us there. That was a great battle for the lead.
Maybe one of the best races we've had this season.
Well, I think that's the key there. I mean, you go down in the divs, and we're actually seeing some good battles. I mean, this Div 1 stuff. I want to see Pat go against Incy and Banana Josh go against Mighty Murph.
There's always tomorrow.
Always.
Was it NJK Nordy that had to drop down?
Yes, big shout out to NJK
shout out to
Nordy.
NJK.
We did have one extra driver that we could not fit in the room who put his hand up to have a go in another division. He actually came away with the Div 3 win. So
Congrats
he had
to
a
him.
great night.
Great drive.
Yep.
Yeah,
just
pole to flag.
proving that he belongs in Div 2. Maybe
Actually, his
won't be the
finishing
first
time would have given him the Div 2 win.
Ah,
Oh, wow. That's nuts.
No,
Incredible
he wasn't
drive from
fighting
him.
with anyone though, so that does
that's
help.
it.
Oh, but to show that pace, that's really impressive of him. And of course,
Exactly.
a really big move just to put his hand up and step down for the night. That was, yeah, really great stuff.
Big thanks to Risky for joining us tonight.
No problem, mate.
I think that
And,
Good
that
fun.
does us. Wonderful.
You
All right.
two
See you
really
next-
are the best of
See you
business.
next week. Oh,
Super
you're too
BT.
kind. Super BT.